This episode of the Final Fourcast is brought to you in part by the Book Exchange, where Mountaineers go since 1934.
Recorded live in Morgantown, West by God, Virginia, and across the world, with your hosts, Kevin Jones, Deshaun Butler, John Flowers, and our lovely co-host, Ashley. This is the Final Fourcast podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Final Fourcast. I am one of your hosts, Deshaun Butler. I am joined here today, finally, by John Flowers, who decided to join us.
Wow, I'm back. You already know what it is.
Did I say something wrong? Kevin?
Yeah, like I was
talking to Kevin.
I don't think you did. I think everything's very accurate. What you said.
Wow. Perfect. Thank you so much. John, it's good to have you back, man. Oh, how could we forget the people that have been here, been working their ass off? My guy, Kevin Jones.
You, what's going on?
Nothing much. And our amazing, lovely, consistently funny co-host, Ashley.
That's me.
And don't forget Dave. Dave's been here, cutting shit, doing things he's not supposed to be doing.
Ooh.
And helping. And John, let's let us know how you felt about Dave.
Oh man,
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? How's the week?
Good, man.
Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm good, man. We just started playing again after 2 weeks off. So
Yeah. How you feeling?
my body, every part of my body hurts right now. Every part of my body hurts. But
So like
yeah, it's good.
so you have to like what do you call it? Like how many like there's two, what is it? 3 Americans with you or 3 guys from another country that are with you?
So it's so every team is allowed to have 3 foreigners from wherever America, whatever country. So, but only 2 can play at one time.
Once, exactly. So how many minutes do you log out of those 2? Do you think like are you getting? Is it an even amount of minutes, or you think you're getting like 2/3 of these minutes where you're like exhausted?
Whoa! Right now, our center, he's hurt. He's done for the rest of the season. So I've been playing center for 30 plus.
Whoa.
30 plus. So it's been a struggle, but you know we've been winning. Barely, but we've been winning. So
those centers in Japan really look like sumo wrestlers too.
Bro,
Centers.
300 legit baby Shaqs, 300 pounds,
Yeah, I don't
6'9",
know
6'10".
Damn.
I don't know why they like
gotta-
centers like out of shape.
Listen, Japan is the only league these dudes can play in. The only league that this could happen. Like, it's crazy. But they, like a lot of them dudes is nimble, like really surprisingly nimble, and can move and can actually play. It's just they overweight.
Nimble.
I love it.
Man.
Deshaun, what is
Extremely
nimble
huge
mean?
centers.
Break that down.
Nimble?
Sheesh. If I had the Miriam next to me, I'd give you everything verbatim.
The
I would
Miriam.
assume that
They're coordinated, John.
the coordination is on point.
Nimble, light
They're
on
bigger
your
dudes,
feet.
very
Yes.
light on our feet.
Exactly.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
John
There you go.
apparently doesn't know what anything means nowadays.
Nah,
He just wanted you-
You never heard nimble before. Lie and say
Nah.
you never heard nimble before.
Nimbly bimbly.
I haven't.
Never.
I
Interesting.
really have not heard that.
Are you
word
kidding
before.
me?
Oh, that's
This
awesome.
is just like our text convo the other day when KJ said he saw the light. And John's like, what
It's
does
like,
that
what does
mean?
that mean? You
What do
never
you
heard
mean?
the
What does
phrase,
that
you
mean?
saw the light.
I think he
Yeah.
said these phrases. This is
Nah,
this is
I wasn't.
another distraction from John Flowers.
So you play a professional sport and you've never heard the word nimble before used.
Hugs use a lot of different words. He never said that one.
I'm not
That's not
talking
the
about
end all
hugs.
or be all of your coaching. Your coaching.
I'm not
experience.
talking about hugs. It could
Hugs
be
is
any
the
other
end all
coach.
be all of your coaching experience.
He's fucking nimble. He's more.
Look at it,
Oh man.
and I
Nah,
got
but-
you. Unnimble eyes. Unnimble.
Unimble. I'm not sure that's
Bunch
a word.
of
But yeah.
unnimble cunts.
Yeah, unnimble ass. Like, hey, wait a minute, that's not a word.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
behoove of you. It'd behoove you to learn what unnimble means.
But I've
He used to say
changed
behoove
now.
all the time.
But I've changed.
He used to say that all the time. It literally took me like a year because I would hear it and be like, I don't know what that means, so I'm not gonna even worry about it. He's not talking about me. But after like a year, it finally dawned on me like what behoove. I was just like, okay, good, I get it. Why does he keep saying this?
Coach is
That's
very
his
smart,
favorite,
though.
man.
Coach Hugs is very smart.
He always lets us know that he was what is it?
Summa laude. So I can't. What is that?
Summa cum laude.
Summa cum laude. Yeah, for sure.
Always lets us know.
He mentioned.
I'm not a smart guy. Granted,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, coach.
That's actually really impressive. That means like
Yeah.
you had like what, a 4.0?
Yeah.
No
I
one,
know.
no
He-
one
he's-
checked
he's
these
told
stats
us.
though. Did anybody
Nope.
check that?
No,
Nobody.
he could
Let's
easily
look
have
it up.
gotten us and what do you call it? What's that shit called? Ultimate frisbee. It could have been anything. for all we know.
Ultimate frisbee.
Was it Magnum cum laude? Is that what he said?
Summa.
Is it
Summa.
Magnum or Summa? It's
Summa's the highest. The next
Nah,
down
it's
is
Magnum.
Magna
It was
cum
Magnum cum
laude.
laude.
It was
cum laude.
Magna.
Yeah, that's what it says. No way in hell he was talking about that.
So he ain't
It's
reached
just
for the
Magnum.
highest one then.
Nah, nah,
he
he
went
just
for the
got
one
one.
that was like plausible, like that was possible.
Both-
He was like, yeah, they ain't gonna check this one.
Listen,
He's
both
like-
them shits is tough to get.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
I'll be very disappointed if Hugs is lying about this.
I
'Cause
doubt
we
he
did hear
was.
that a lot.
He would say that all the time. Like, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm like, we
He
know what you
did.
got.
Yeah,
he definitely
Huggins
did.
graduated magna cum laude in 1977 with a Bachelor of Science degree in physical education.
See,
Wow.
it would behoove you guys to study that before you start talking.
Before you start talking crap about
Does
Coach
that
Huggins,
count?
John.
PE?
I would hope he would have the magna cum laude in physical education. I mean, being a coach and all.
Shade.
Oh, that's what you guys are
Shade.
doing.
Just
oh,
saying.
I
Shade,
get it.
Ash.
Oh,
Shade 4
just
5.
saying. You think anyone can get this? And can't
I mean,
wait
it's
to
still
relay the
impressive because,
message.
even in undergrad, he'd have to have really, good GPAs to make that happen. So
I'll be
there's
sure to
that.
add that in there too as well, Ash, when I tell him that you were shitting on him.
Listen, I think it's
No, that was-
impressive. I graduated magna cum laude, so
Oh my
I think
gosh.
that's
Here
an
we
impressive
go.
thing to
See?
do.
Now
And
you know what Coach
communications?
Huggins did.
In public speaking, but yeah.
Now you're doing what Coach Huggins did.
How much are we valuing like degrees? How much are we
Yeah.
valuing degrees? That makes all the difference.
It really does because there are
Yeah.
I'm not going to front a communications degree is not hard to get. Number one, number two, to have a high
What?
GPA in it. Yeah, I'll keep it real.
Communications is-
Talk your shit, Ash. Get it.
I'm just saying, that's what I mean, speech communications is what I graduated in, a minor in journalism, and it was not difficult to do. I mean, especially if
Okay.
you're, comfortable with those things. It's not a difficult degree to get.
I'm an MDS major, so I'm gonna stay out of this conversation because I really did nothing to.
Well, and see, and that's the
I'ma
other
be
thing.
real.
Exactly.
Like if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have gotten my degree in that because really, I mean, there's too much you can do with it. I would rather have gone and did something more specific. Like getting a doctorate or, become a nurse or something really specific. So when you graduate, you know what direction you're going to go in. Sadly, after I graduated, it's like, okay, what direction do I want to go? There's so many outlets, and then finding those jobs is even more difficult. So
Yeah. Do you think that'd be interesting if they let people get a legit year off before college? Like you
yes,
can't,
100%.
you can't go to college unless you take a year off, maybe.
I think you need to explore yourself a little bit. How many people really know straight out of high school what
Who
they
can
want to do for
afford
a
to take a
living?
year off in life in general?
You mean after college, after you graduate?
After high school.
After high school.
college, I feel like it's a terrible time because you're gonna take a year off, and then when you go to apply for a job, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, so what have you been doing for a year?" Well, I've just been walking around. Like, no. Like,
I'm pretty sure they do that in France though. Like after you graduate college, the government gives, like if you don't want to work or don't know what you want to do, the government will give you money just to chill, basically.
They do that
So
in
you figure
Germany
out
and
what you
some other
want to
countries
do.
too.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, our government won't do that at all. That's why I said
Hell
it'd be better
no.
to take that year off before, like after high school. You pass all your tests, you would
They-
get into a college. You prove that you can get in. So
Our government is like 4 years. You have 4 years to figure it out. If you ain't,
Yeah.
if you don't know by now, it's
it's a
over.
done deal. You're gonna be
Exactly.
You're gonna be picking up the trash in our house or some shit like that, like there,
It's
or
not his
anything
fault.
else. Like
He can't read.
it's ridiculous, bro. Idiot.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's legit. I mean, I think that people need to, like, how do you know? I mean, think about it. Ever since we were in freaking grade school, middle school, what do you want to be when you grow up? How the hell do I know? I'm a freaking, 14, 15-year-old kid. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
So are you supposed to think about that stuff?
Yes, like you have to start thinking about college your freaking freshman year of high school, like, and where you want to go and what you want to do. And if you're on the college track, they keep asking you, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? You got to take these classes if you want to do this. You got to take these classes if you want to. How the hell do I know? I have no life experience.
I was gonna say, like, what do you think about that though? Like Kevin, you're from what you know now. Are there questions you would have asked or things you would have looked for a little bit differently going on your recruiting visits?
As far as basketball or just the college in general?
Both. I always say like me, I thought I knew knew exactly what I was getting, and then I literally fell into this university by the graces of God. like I could have easily been somewhere else, and the couple reasons of me picking the university weren't even what was going on here by any means. So I had no clue of what I was doing.
Yeah,
I feel like most people in our situation, like going to a D1 school to play basketball, I never really think about the school side of it. I only thought about how it could benefit me on the court. I never thought about which classes would I want to major in, none of that until I actually got to on campus. I think that's most. Well, I don't want to speak for most basketball players, but I feel like that's most athletes thinking when they get on is like, how can I excel on the court, not so much, off the court. So that was my thinking anyway.
I was sitting here like, yeah, you know what? It's between here and DePaul. DePaul's in Chicago. I'm gonna be in the city partying all the time. Maybe I should go to West Virginia. It's a little bit more quiet.
Surprise.
Yeah, right.
Show up first day. Yep, this is the #1 party school in America. I was like, well, shows how much information I really gathered from my visits here. So.
Well, obviously you did pretty well.
Thank God. That's what I said. The man upstairs kind of put me in a spot.
There's no way coming out of high school like someone's going to know what they want to do for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
No.
So it's kind
That's
of
why I think it's pretty
hard. That's why people change their majors and change their degrees all the time, what they want to learn, because you haven't seen enough life. You haven't experienced enough life to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. So it's kind of weird. College is a scam to me.
I'm with you, dude. And that's why so many people go back later
Yeah.
in life to get their master's in something else or get another degree in something else because they realize this isn't for me.
But even then, they're like, damn, bro, you're paying to fucking... All right, it's one thing if you're getting the full college experience. Like this year in a pandemic where most people couldn't even go to school or go to class, and you're sitting here just like getting pamphlets on online classes that you're paying fucking like. So I'm like, bro, like, are you kidding me?
You could probably look on YouTube and learn.
You could look on, like, you could look.
Yes.
Like, if someone left that on there, like some of these people, and not to mention some teachers are even like, they're not even creating their own like work. They're copying someone else's work and giving it to you too. Where plagiarism law is going on in school. Like they're plagiarizing people's lesson plans.
That college debt is no joke. You forget, like, because we were on scholarship that we don't have to we don't owe anything back. But when you talk to your friends and people that went to school and they had to pay, you're like, yo, I'm still paying on my loans and this shit, and they paying like $50,000 on a loan. I'm like, and they got good jobs too, but half of that is going towards their loans.
Yep.
So they like 40.
Shit is a scam, yo.
It's crazy.
It really is a scam. Like, don't you think experience is better than just going to college and wasting $200,000 or however much money? So like, if you graduated from,
it's weird because it's like you gotta be with the times of the society. So like as of right now, I mean, college, it's starting to wean off where people feel like, all right, they don't need to go as much. But even then, though, like there's still parts of the world you have to have a college degree in to like work. So like that's just like what it is. Just like, I mean, there could be a kid listening right now that says, all right, well maybe I don't go to college, and then his entire life is altered because of the time he's in. Like now you need a degree in something at least to in turn get a job to work for somebody. Unless you absolutely know someone and is connected to a point where it doesn't matter. And
let's get real, that happens more often than not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like, if it's all about who you know and you know nobody in this field and you come from absolutely nothing of anything, how would you get the job other than have a degree?
You're still going to get overlooked, sadly.
I mean, possibly, but at least you know what you're looking at.
True. Knowing everything y'all know now, what would you want to see like college classes like promote more? Like whether it's taxes or something like that that's actually applies to your regular life. Like what kind of courses would y'all like to see?
That's legit. Honestly, I think that should be taught at a high school level.
High school level. I was about to say.
Because how many? This is no joke. I've heard the story from my boyfriend Joe, my sister Lisa, who works for the FBI. These kids that are young and they come straight there after school and they think, oh, okay, well, I'm starting out at $45,000 a year. That's how much money I'm gonna make. So they go out and buy these cars, they buy these trucks, they do those things, and then they get their first paycheck and they're like, wait, where'd all my money go? Oh, you didn't know you have to pay state and federal taxes. Your insurance comes out of that. Like, there's so much that comes out of your paycheck. And these kids don't know that.
No.
Yeah.
And
they're not prepared financially for it. Like, someone needs to set these expectations.
And they learn it the hard way.
Some classes I would avoid having in high school or let you choose. I mean, I went to a tech school where you chose like the craft that you wanted to do as well as take your classes. Like the classes that you need to go to college. So if you could at least like have elective, like not electives, but I guess like classes you can just sit there and just point at and pick that you think you would be interested in that you can go to college and do. Like everybody shouldn't have to take science if they don't feel like they're going to go into a science background. But if you want to learn something about science clicks when you're in class, then take that shit, take it after your freshman year of high school and keep pursuing it.
Yes.
Or math or whatever it is. But I still feel like, we're all like kind of, that's a young ages for people to like pick and choose what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. Like, it's just.
I feel like networking is more important than a college degree.
That's true.
I agree. In some aspects, I agree.
In some aspects, yeah.
Unpopular opinion, but that's just how I feel. Like, I've seen so many people get jobs just based on who they know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what kind of jobs are we talking about, though?
Oh, whatever job.
I mean, I feel like it does apply to a lot of jobs in general, but like some people still have to be qualified in a sense.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's not every time.
Each job you get, though, you're going to get training at the job, though, right?
Exactly.
Not necessarily.
They're not just going to throw you in there.
Not the head of a department. He doesn't get training.
Head of what?
Well, then
if they're bringing over somebody to run a department or to run something, like I'm sure that when Oliver Luck came over, there was no training for Oliver Luck. Like if he had ran something prior, then I'm sure they show
Oliver Luck like the ropes. Like this is how we do shit here. This isn't like how it was where the fuck you came from.
You're talking about training as far as in the environment. The environmental training, like as far as the new place, as opposed to like the action.
Where did Oliver Luck come from? The NFL?
Not sure. I
have no clue.
He had some form of like basically like management beforehand, for sure.
But
that's what I was saying though. You still need to like, as much as networking is important. Like for example, Oliver Luck didn't get this job without networking, of course. No one else gets those jobs without him. But you still need to like know it though, right?
If you shadowed West Virginia athletic director around right now for 6 months, do you think you'd be able to do the job on your own?
I don't know. Possibly. I mean, I say possibly, but I don't know because there's so many things that I don't know about it. Like 6 months of somebody that's like in a class learning about government, like how to govern a board and how to do this and do that and how to maneuver in these rooms. Like I don't know. I feel like there's rules you have to know. As an athletic director, you have to know if someone's breaking an NCAA rule or not. Like they're gonna come to you, they're gonna come to compliance, they're gonna come to all these people that are supposed to know it. And because you have the job, because you're good at networking, like it's not just the networking. It's a big part of it though, for sure. Like networking, you should learn how to do, but you still want people that are, experienced. I was thinking of that Tracy Morgan commercial. It was like you don't want anybody that kind of knows what they're doing. You want somebody that does.
Yeah. I think that it's way easier to say that when you're shadowing somebody. Like, I feel like experience is the best teacher. So you have to be in that position in order for you to actually know what you're to learn it fully. Because you could shadow somebody's moves, what they do or whatever. Let's just apply it to basketball. You can shadow their moves and see what they're doing. But when it comes to the defense, when the defense is on you, it's different. So it's just like that same thing. Like if you actually in that spot, it's different than being like, oh dang, I didn't know he had to deal with this. I didn't know he had to deal with that. Now it's a whole different dynamic to it. So I think being in that spot is a little bit different than shadowing it. Well, not saying that you can't do it.
Yeah, there's gonna be people that are smart enough to do it, but it's definitely gonna be difficult because if you don't catch on to like certain things, like if something just never happens, you have no experience in that matter. And whereas that guy, your boss, the person you're shadowing, may have had experience in that matter already, and it just never came up around you. Mm-hmm. So now you don't, I
say all that to say, Shane, go ahead, Mr. Lyons, just go ahead, let me shadow you for about a year. And
he just got Idiot of the Year or some shit, right?
Just get out the way, man. It's time for me to come in. I'm a quick learner. I don't care what Deshaun's talking about. I will learn everything quickly. Just let me take over and get out the way. Black
Did you pass your what you college at? Black jerseys coming back ASAP. The only reason he's joining. The only reason he's even joining.
That's funny.
I mean, technically, you could do that, John. Think about it. A lot of those guys. That's what they do. That's where they come from.
You can learn how to do that from reading books on like leadership. Like it doesn't normally have to be. You won't know like the technical stuff of like what you're doing from reading those books, but it's just a leadership role. You know what I mean? You have to be able to lead. And
manage.
Manage.
Yeah, I've been reading a ton about managing. It's not as easy. It's not as cut and dry, bro. I'm telling you, it's like
I know. I got to deal with Dave every day. I asked him something 2 days ago. You think he did it? No. So I have to bribe him every other day about staying on his job, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's easier when I'm in town because I do everything. So.
Well, that's not good management skills, John. Good manager, delegate.
You gotta learn how to let go. That's
management 101. If you want something done the right way, you do it yourself. Never rely on anyone else to get the job done. If you got to do it yourself.
That's not a leader. That's not a leader.
Yeah, exactly. That's an absolutely terrible analogy.
That's a dictator.
No,
leading by example.
That's glory hogging.
For real. Oh yeah, I did this.
I did it.
He had nothing to do with this.
They work for me, but I did it.
Think about what Deshaun did at the end of the game. He just kept the ball. He didn't pass it.
Nope. Actually, a play was designed. A coach called a timeout.
Yeah, that's
a play was then designed. I was told where to go. I didn't just say, you know what, fuck this play. Me. No.
So there was no other option in the plays, not one.
Well, wasn't Deshaun's call?
Was I one of the options?
Yeah, you was one of the options.
If the option was there to shoot the ball, and I took advantage of the option there
There
wasn't me designing a play. There wasn't me away from the ball, and there was I ran over and took it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll clip up some clips where you had the option to pass me the ball.
We'll have Dave clip this conversation out too, because you're wrong.
Clip this conversation.
Since you're doing all the extra clip-ins. I love it.
But there are plenty of examples. It's funny whenever you first said, it's all about who you know. First name that comes to mind was Heather Bresch. Joe Manchin's daughter ended up being the CEO of freaking Mylan with no previous experience.
Yeah, but then
didn't even have her MBA like she said she did.
Yeah, but what happened after that, though?
Yes.
What happened after that?
Well, she's no longer there.
And that's why we have these rules, so we can catch people like this.
Well, the crazy thing was, though, I think she was still there after that.
No, it wasn't just her. It was a lot of people involved in it, and they had to catch all of these people somewhat involved in it in order to, let people know you can't do it. I mean, that's why you have
she got fired?
Policies. I mean,
actually, technically, that whole place is done. I mean, Morgantown doesn't even exist.
So she didn't actually get fired though. Like she just
No,
did,
she was fine because of who she knows.
Let's just face it. The U.S. way of living is if you know somebody, then you're probably gonna get that job. Like that's just how we operate, and that's how it's always been. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it either. Like it is what it is. Like that's how it's always been. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it's a blend though. I feel like there's a blend because I know people that don't know people that get jobs. Like,
no, I'm not saying that. Of course, there's some people.
That's
like
what I'm saying. I feel like there's a blend, but to your guys' point, it is important to like network and know people. I mean, because at the end of the day, if someone has to choose between somebody they know and they feel comfortable with versus somebody they don't know, regardless of what they may know, some people will take those choices and pick that person they know.
Dude, she wasn't even fired. She technically retired in 2020
after
Mylan decided to, you know.
Yeah, how long was she on for?
Since 2012, so she was there for what, 8 freaking years?
Yeah.
Did she get a pension or something?
I'm sure she did.
Nothing happens to her personally.
She
they all got fired and everything. People got reprimanded and they don't have those jobs anymore. But like when I say like just so things didn't happen anymore, like that's just to stop it from happening. Not that they got slapped on the wrist or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then let's not forget about the EpiPen controversy. Like that was insane.
What happened?
Oh, dude, she raised EpiPens up to like $600 each, and it caused a huge thing because there was no generic on the market at that time.
Jesus.
Yes. So people came after Mylan for it, and dude, all the money that they were making off of that, not surprisingly, was going to the board of directors and everybody else at top, so they can get bigger salaries.
$600? Who she thought she was selling EpiPens
right?
to? Like,
I know, and it's a life-saving drug. That's what's crazy.
I had one before. I had to stop getting them. I was like, I'm not paying y'all $600. If I start getting some shit, I'm going to the hospital.
Be like, yeah,
and they can shoot me up.
We can save your life, but $600.
Yeah. It's like, no. I'm like, nah, that's all right.
You have an EpiPen?
Yeah, like I have allergies.
What you allergic to?
Don't know, to tell you the truth. Like I'll literally just like break out in highs out of nowhere.
Let me know when you
don't worry about it. I won't tell you. And I'm not eating or sharing anything with you ever again after this conversation.
My man said he don't know what he allergic to. That's crazy.
I remember I went to I had 2 scenarios. It was pretty weird. I had these cucumber on. I was playing around. Had these cucumber glasses that people like would sleep with, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like sleep like for bags in their eyes. So I was just playing around. I had them on my face. All of a sudden, I started like completely like swelling up like Will Smith.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Like, so I had to rush to the hospital there because I didn't have an EpiPen at the time. And another time, my dumbass put on a shirt without washing it. Idiot. Immediately started breaking out and then friggin' hives like over my entire body.
So you had to give like the whole
cucumbers and new teas.
Cucumbers and fresh teas.
Did you stab yourself with the EpiPen?
Yeah, I had to do that one time. That was in G League because of the T-shirt. Damn. It was I didn't have any EpiPen. We had to stop the bus after a game. We stopped at a CVS. I went, purchased the EpiPen, and freaking I just stabbed myself in the leg. I was bleeding. That shit was so embarrassing.
Are you serious?
Embarrassing.
It was a life-saving. I was happy.
I was like,
but imagine just bleeding through gray shorts. So it's not the idea either. Like I had like a T-shirt on my leg.
I'm dying. It's so embarrassing.
That's so damn embarrassing. Damn embarrassing to die in front of my teammates because of this.
Now,
a T-shirt.
Was it just hives or was like your throat closing up?
Yeah, that was what I noticed. Like at first I didn't even notice. Like the itching was like on my the top of my head and the side of my head. So I didn't really notice. And the side of my face started swelling, but I was like this against the bus. You know what I'm saying? Just like sitting here with my hands on my head. And then all of a sudden I started itching here, and then all of a sudden my throat started closing. I was like, ooh. Yo, could we stop somewhere? I had to explain that shit for like 2-3 minutes.
Scary.
Like, why do we need to stop? Yes, because I need this and that. Like,
you never took the test where they pinch you and see what you're allergic to?
I had that. I sat there. They did that. I did it twice. I did it when I was in the G League, and I did it when after that happened, and I did it again when I got back to Morgantown. Nothing.
Whoa.
Because you can develop allergies, which is fucked up.
Which is strange. My mom had this. She had that habit too. My mom developed an allergy to shrimp when I got to college. So she came and went to hibachi and she found out about hers.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
She's like, what the fuck? I can't eat shrimp. I was like, that's tough.
If you love to show your WVU school spirit with the latest fashion and styles, and with a wide selection of WV merch, check out the Book Exchange at bookexchangewv.com or in store on the downtown and Evansdale campuses in Morgantown. Save 25% off your order with promo code BX4 Final Four.
What about these aliens I was hearing about? Please bring this back. So since we're talking about
the
life,
UFOs.
is that a real thing?
Well, I mean, you may remember, it wasn't even that long ago, a few years ago, that the government actually released some UFO footage. These guys in fighter jets, and keep in mind when we say UFO, we don't necessarily mean alien. It just means unidentified flying object. But these things were moving quick, doing maneuvers that these guys had never seen. Now, that's not to say it's not a black ops project, that our government's working on. That's possible. But now the government has been more forthcoming with these documents and saying, yes, we have seen, aerial phenomenon and this is what it is. And we don't know where it comes from, which is interesting.
If they're telling us about it, then it's under wraps already. They've got to take it care of. I can't imagine them coming out talking about some shit that they don't have under control.
I give up on aliens. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I gave up on it. And I'm like, nah, it's too many theories. It's too many. I don't know. I give up.
Do I believe there's things out there?
I give up on believing in it.
No. In our area, I don't believe there's anything out here in our area that would identify like similar to us, but a little different or some shit like that. I can't believe that. But maybe farther out, just numbers wise, possibly yes, of course. Numbers wise,
the galaxy is huge.
Huge. That's what I'm saying. Like this, where we're in. Either we just absolutely can't get to them at the moment, but I just don't foresee there being life like ours on any planet in our galaxy.
Not in our galaxy.
Where we are, like Jupiter, fucking Saturn, that shit.
Not in our solar system.
Not in our solar system. There we go. But in our galaxy, further out, stuff like that. Yeah, possibly. It's numbers wise, it just doesn't make sense. There would have to be another form of life somewhere.
Absolutely. There's definitely life out there. I mean, even science has been, they've recently started looking for other planets that could harbor life by distance to suns, water, things like that. And dude, the amount that they have found is insane. Like there's so many that are in the habitable zone.
I believe there are organisms out there. I honestly don't believe that there's anything smarter than us. Maybe I'm being foolish, but I believe that there are other organisms out there. Fuck y'all. Y'all haven't seen it, so what y'all talking about?
So here's what I would say. Randomly, when they were on Mars, they found Native American writings in some stone that was up there on Mars. I saw that like a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how true that is though, but
look it up.
That was like, I was gonna say look that up. I saw that like a couple of weeks ago on the news. But do I think here's how is like, do you believe in God or you don't? If you do believe in God and we have and God built this, why the hell did He build absolutely everything else outside of it if there was just gonna be us? It's either for us to go see it or there's something else there. If you don't believe in God, there's no way in hell you can sit there and think that it's just us here. Numbers wise alone, us in this, just us being in this solar system is like ridiculous. To go into another solar system, there would have to be other forms of life, like you were saying, Kevin. Maybe there has to be another version, not of us, but like something. Big ass fucking chickens or something like it's just like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever the hell it is, like something like there has to be.
I think they would have showed themselves by now
like
if they was in our range of us. I just don't think they're in range,
and we would be able to see it. Like we have telescopes, we have things up there. Like for you to think that we went to the moon in 1960 and just we had a couple bad trips and never went back is false. Like we've never been anywhere. When I say we, I'm talking about like man has never been anywhere once and then just never gone back.
Unless there's an international treaty or something that we don't know about.
International?
And
you
that's
mean intergalactic?
Intergalactic. Fuck national. Fucking Shield is a little. This is a little bit outside of Shield's like type deal. Man.
Intergalactic treaty between us and these aliens. Because it's like, why
but then they would have to know about it. They would have to know about it. That's why I said I can't believe that our government would give us this kind of information without knowing fully about it beforehand. Because it would cause a panic if it did. If it was like if they'd have to know something like these aren't really aliens. This is us in ships flying around, and we can keep people like feeling like they're aliens, or these are we have a intergalactic treaty, but we won't let these people know. We just let them know what they're seeing is unidentified flying saucers.
That's stupid too, though, because the aliens don't know about our government. So if they came
how
here,
you know what aliens
how do you know about? Bro, if something came into our galaxy, the fastest thing that can get to them is our government on ships and on things of that nature. So if they can't, like there's video of, I don't know how real that is either, but there's video of like like UFOs coming into the atmosphere, and fucking some type of fighter jet or whatever gets next to it. They sit there, they stare at each other, or it just sits in the spot, and then all of a sudden just takes the fuck off. Mm-hmm. So like,
I'm saying, though,
our government is the fastest that'll get to it. So they would get to the government before they got to the...
Why do these aliens always go to like LA or some big city?
Well, no, let's keep in mind, because a lot of sightings come from LA and those places. It's because, I mean, think about it. There's a lot more.
KJ's listening to his favorite song.
There's a lot more people in those areas, so they get more sightings of things that they don't understand. But that doesn't mean that they're actual aliens or UFOs.
Not to mention, I don't really people in the city. I mean, you got so much time. Like, there's so many people. They could be making friggin' what do we call those joints, John? The joints you could just fly like and deliver shit, or you could turn one of those drones into anything. Like it could be a drone for all we know.
Absolutely.
Like, people have nothing but time in their hands.
At the end of the day, aliens ain't trying to come to our planet. Like, they good. Like, they ain't trying to. That's why
it's nothing.
You ain't never like they good. Like, they probably, if they are coming by, they just like checking in to make sure we ain't doing nothing crazy.
Exactly. They're there to monitor and make sure we don't destroy shit. Yeah.
Because if they could get here, obviously they're a little bit more advanced than we are. Not even a little. They're just way more advanced than we are.
So they just come down like, look at this shit.
Make sure.
You're like, look at,
yeah.
Wait, what they doing? All right, we good. We ain't got to pull out the strap.
Exactly, we're good. Like, they're not going to destroy the galaxy today.
Which reminds me, do you remember that? That goes back in 2008. I remember seeing it whenever I was at work, and all these news reporters from all over the world were reporting that these unidentified flying objects were over top of nuclear silos, and they were shutting them down and turning them on and shutting them down. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. It happened all over the world simultaneously.
Did you ever see the...
what?
I watched this little documentary they had on Netflix where these people were talking about them releasing the alien information. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about where at one point they were chasing a UFO, trying to catch up with it, and it was like ahead of it, and as it was getting up into space or whatever, they shot nuclear weapons at it, and they stopped it. It stopped, like it didn't get out of the atmosphere, like it stopped.
Wow.
And then they fell, and they fell onto Earth, but they were dead though. Like
right, they disengaged
nothing.
it.
They just basically disengaged it. It disengaged themselves.
Yeah.
The guy was talking about. He's like, "That's the scariest shit I ever seen." He was telling about.
Tell me more about this nuclear. So they were all over where the nuclear weapons are, and
yes, there was I think 2 or 3 locations in the U.S. There was one, I believe, in the U.K. and one in Russia, if I remember correct. I need to look it up, but it was all over the news. CNN was reporting on it. It was just nuts, and they were saying like, and I've even seen other documentaries about it. These guys that worked in these nuclear facilities were like, we've never seen anything like it. Like our alarms start going off because it sent, they know they have radar, and they said this thing is just like hovering over the silo, and it turns on. They freak out because it's like, shit, our nuclear weapons are about to go off, and then all of a sudden it shuts it back down. Like it was so nuts. I'll find the article. I'll share it with you. I'm sure there's more than one.
It probably got lost in the shuffle with the Pepe Le Pew stuff.
Yeah.
How much of this is fear mongering, like we like to talk
Tons.
about?
I feel like it is.
You think so?
That's what the guy was saying. I think it was just more or less like you'll get people riled up and scare people.
Yeah, and we're not privy. We're not, the average person is not privy to all this information. So we hear this and we're like, oh damn, there's really aliens out there where all alone is. Our government doing some shit to try to scare us. Like, I don't know, man.
That was the funny thing. The guy was like, if you see it, it's not aliens. It's probably the government trying to scare you into things and scare you into like scare you into what I don't know exactly, but it was just more or less like it was weird. It was like a government takeover type deal. I was like, I can't. I'm all for conspiracy theorists, but I can't just ride with every last one of them. No,
I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of UFO sightings happen near like Air Force bases and places where the government is actually
testing. Get to it first.
Everything.
Get to it first. Yeah. Everything almost.
Yeah,
they
so
get
there's
to it
no
first.
doubt about that.
Historic sightings and stuff.
I found the article, CBS News, and ex-Air Force personnel talked about these UFOs that were deactivating nukes. It happened in a Washington press conference back in 2010, and a former Air Force personnel that testified to the existence of UFOs and their ability to neutralize American and Russian nuclear missiles. UFO researcher Robert Hastings of Albuquerque, New Mexico, he organized this National Press Club briefing and said that more than 120 former service members had told him that they had seen unidentified flying objects near nuclear weapon storage and testing grounds. Let me see if I can read the rest of it. One of it was at Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana. That was back in 1967. He said that he was overseeing this site and suddenly it became inoperative. At the same time, base security informed him a mysterious red glowing object in the sky. It happened simultaneously when it deactivated.
That's tough.
Yeah. Robert Jameson, a retired U.S. Air Force nuclear missile targeting officer, told of several occasions having to go out and, quote, restart missiles that had been deactivated after UFOs were sighted nearby. Similar sightings at nuclear sites in the former Soviet Union and in Britain were related. This is crazy.
If this was a thing, would y'all want to know, like, for real? Would y'all really want to know every secret the government is keeping from us, or would you rather be left in the dark about some shit?
I think that it's probably best to be under wraps because there are people out there that would freak the fuck out. Number one.
Like me.
Yeah, I think I would too, honestly, especially if they're we don't know if they're hostile. Oh shit, okay. You know,
so
I'd rather not know.
What do you do because if this is real? Like, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It's like, if this is real and they're doing stuff like this and shutting things down and there's no way we can control it, it's like at any second we're never safe.
So right. What's the difference between you knowing that and not knowing that though?
Yeah, but me not knowing that is a chance that could not be true.
Right.
Me knowing that is like it's true that it could happen at any second. Yeah, go ahead.
So what about somebody that has like a fucking bazooka or some shit? Yeah. Like they're out there. Like does that scare you even more? Like it's
it scares me because it's true.
But you're not thinking about it right now.
So
like,
that's okay. Let me give you an example. So it's like,
please talk to me.
It's like, all right, cool. People talk about, let's just say Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster. We don't know if that's true. It's an old folklore story or whatever. And then you actually see it. It's like, oh shit! Like I can't go in the woods no more. I can't go in fucking.
But I don't want to go in the woods anyway. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the Loch Ness, like the Bigfoot. I know what you mean.
My whole point is knowing something is real and thinking something may be real is two totally different things.
Yeah, it's true. But what does that affect though? Is what I'm trying to say. Because at the end of the day,
it affects my psyche.
How many mass shootings were there this month in the United States?
Like guaranteed, there's probably 100. And the point I'm trying to make is that because there's this other group of dangerous things or beings or whatever's out there, it doesn't change a damn thing. Like, because if they're turning things on and off, they could have done this. They could have did whatever they wanted to do. If there's a person down the street that's upset at you, they could do whatever they're gonna want to do. If you went to the woods, just like the Bigfoot could possibly be there or not be there, there's a bear that could be there, and he's gonna do whatever the fuck he's gonna do. And in the water, the same thing. So like, at the end of the day, just because you may or may not know about it, it doesn't really change much.
What's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So what? Okay. And you're totally right. Both of y'all are right. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So there's no difference in knowing something is there between thinking something may be there. There's no difference.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
And your approach to something, there's no difference in thinking something may be there and then knowing absolutely if I go there or like this is absolutely happening. That's no difference to y'all.
So I'm confused. So what can you possibly do about any of the other things as well? I mean, you can prepare yourself a little bit.
You
can
a little
avoid
bit,
it.
but even then, avoid what? You can avoid what?
By not
you
going
not knowing that
wherever
somebody's
that is.
around. Like
Yeah, you can.
If you
You
know
can, you can avoid. If you know something's going to happen, you can avoid.
You can
the
avoid
area. But you don't.
it doesn't
know
stop
what
it. It doesn't
but
stop.
that's what
It doesn't
I'm
stop
saying.
it from
You don't-
attempting to
you don't
happen.
know
Yeah,
when you
but
go
you're
in the
better
grocery store.
prepared. You're better prepared for it when you know it's happening. Is what
How
I'm
are
saying.
you prepared for
All right,
a
so
mass
what I'm-
shooting in Kroger?
At all time in
what I'm
Kroger.
saying,
Like how?
What I'm saying is like if you go in there and you like, oh yeah, nothing's going on right now. Like if there's a mass shooting, you know there's stuff been going on. You could be on your P's and Q's. Like if you see something,
Impossible to know that's gonna
weird. No, I'm not saying you know what's gonna happen. I'm saying that you're on alert more. That if something does happen, there's a higher possibility of you being able to get away from that situation.
Respect.
I'm not saying it's 100% true.
But that's
I'm not
also
saying-
assuming.
I'm not saying-
You're
I'm
also
not saying this is
but I still.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
this is 100% probability that you're gonna leave alive. I'm saying the probability is higher because you're on more of an alert that stuff like this is going on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand, but I just feel like
all I'm confused about is if you're on alert that aliens are gonna blow up the world. How
You can have a bunker. You can have a bunker set up.
Well, there
Can you not?
People, but there are people that.
Can you not? Hold on.
What is that?
Not
What is that
people?
gonna-
Is there not? No. Hold on.
What is that
Is there
gonna
not
do?
people who have bunker? I'm not saying it's gonna do anything, but I'm saying is there not people who have bunkers set up
All right,
in
so
case,
let me
in case
straight.
something crazy happens?
Yup.
All right,
And
so-
then
So,
on a-
so how come those people know, but you don't then?
Hold up.
What are you
though.
What are you talking about?
Because you
hold
said
on.
you would be better prepared and you would know than like.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't know either. Is what I'm
Doesn't-
saying. But
It's
if I
just
knew
in
for
case.
sure that it was
Yeah.
happening, I would set
Then
up a
what?
fucking bunker.
All right, so then
So
now
better
after
try
you
to
set up a
prepare
bunker,
myself.
then what? Like now you
That's
know,
it.
and then it's safe.
But no, but that's my point. I'm not saying that it is safe. I'm saying that there's a higher probability that I would be ready for whatever else happens.
right,
I'm not
cool.
saying
So-
there's 100% true.
So
That's
cool.
all
So
I'm
at the end of the day, it wouldn't even matter if you knew they were there or not. I mean, if you knew they were there, you would get a bunker to be safe, but it would be nothing you could do about it either way. It's the same. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but I'd
It's
be
called
better
false-
prepared
but
than
it's-
you would, though.
It's false security,
if I-
right? If
it's
it makes
called-
him feel better about it, he's good with it.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's all I'm saying.
But never mind. I literally I'm
It's just
confused.
like if you go outside and you wear a mask during COVID, you don't know, you might still get it, but you
Yeah.
feel better about going outside with a mask, right?
But
Right.
at the end of the day, the conversation was literally surrounded around you not
It's-
feeling like the dominant species at the time. Like I mean. Like that's how I kind of look at it. It's like, all right, there's somebody that's out there that can kill us at a drop of a
but
dime.
we're not.
So I don't feel safe.
We're not
And
the
it's like-
dominant species, though. At that
Yeah.
time.
So like that whole feeling of this group of people or group of things can come here and hurt us and we not be protected can be anywhere. Even if you do know about it or you don't know
Yeah.
about it, it can be anywhere.
Exactly.
Just
but
because you know the reality of it, I kind of feel like it's like me. I know a car crash can happen, but if I start sliding on the goddamn road, ain't shit about me knowing about anything is gonna change a damn thing.
But you're gonna drive safer, right? You're gonna make sure that you drive safer. You're gonna make sure you don't drive at higher speeds in order for that crash to happen.
I've been living my life the wrong way.
Is that not
I've
true?
been pushing
I
it
don't
to
know.
the limit. Apologies.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
That's
I just
also
feel-
assuming, though, that these so-called beings are hostile.
Yeah.
Crazily
what I'm
enough,
saying.
there was an interview on my radio station last week for this guy. He's actually on a Netflix show, Unsolved Mysteries, where he claims to have been like in contact with these other beings and had been abducted
hasn't.
twice or 3 times, I think. But what's
Is
crazy?
it a friend of yours?
No, he
Oh,
was just
so
a guest
sorry.
on the show. But what's crazy about what he was saying is that he's not exactly sure why, he was tapped or why he's, ends up in these places. But other people have seen him on this vessel that he's never met before, but they met later in life. And the guy's like, yo, I've seen you before. And then they start getting into it, which I think is crazy because that kind of validates what happened. But not only that, he's like, I'm not sure exactly why this is happening to me. But what I do know for sure is that they're here to make sure we don't fuck up the earth. It is our job to take care of our planet, and that's why they're here. So I don't necessarily think that they're hostile. I think that they're here to make sure that everything's good and copacetic obviously there's something special about Earth, and clearly, like, look at how much life we harbor on this damn planet. So let's just do our job, keep the planet clean, keep ourselves good, and we don't have to worry about it. That's my thought on it.
Ashley, Captain Planet. There we go.
He's our hero, gonna
classic song. Classic song. Classic song. Yeah.
Love that show.
I hope they're not hostile, because I'll be in my bunker if you guys.
Yeah. I think if they were hostile, we wouldn't be here right now. So
it's gonna do a lot. It's gonna do a lot.
Really? Because if they could get here and we couldn't get there, I would assume that they got some stuff that they could use to get through a bunker.
Absolutely. Well, not only that,
just
but
be assuming.
Not really. It's actually pretty solid logic for the fact that they can get and travel here, but we couldn't travel there, is to assume that they have better technology than we have. Mm-hmm. So why would they stop at just technology to travel?
Because they might not be hostile.
They're gonna protect themselves. So if they were hostile, the point is, like, if they could get here, you wouldn't have to worry about them being the dominant one or not, because they're obviously smarter. They got here before we got to them.
True. I just don't think that they're hostile. I think if they were hostile, you would be like, oh my God, this UFO, I saw it. Next thing you know, my partner died. You know what I mean? Like, no one's died from a UFO sighting or even being abducted, for that matter.
That's what I say. I couldn't even tell you if I know that or not.
Who's to say they need weapons?
People get kidnapped.
That's true.
Like, people get abducted by UFOs. There's no way to tell if someone got abducted, went missing, where they went, if they went on a trip. True. Like, you know, like that story I bet you he told that on the Netflix. Like, it's like, when I hear these stories, it literally sounds insane. Half of them sound crazy. Right. And then the other half, like, they have intriguing stories, but the other half of them is just like,
no, for real. I think some people are delusional.
Like you're tripping. You had a terrible episode.
You accidentally ate some mushrooms and didn't realize you did.
Carried you to this field.
Exactly.
Pretty sure it wasn't accidental. Mushrooms.
I'd hope that in their case.
My dad, it's funny. My dad always had a theory that actually UFOs that we see are us coming from the future.
That's my biggest deal. That'd be fun. That's what I'm hoping.
Which is a possibility, and they're here to monitor and make sure, like, they know what's happened. Yeah. So they're here to make sure it doesn't happen.
I got two questions, KJ. Do you think your bunker would last if the aliens just was like, yo, we're gonna blow up the Earth?
Do I think my bunker would last?
Do you have, like, this bunker that just travels through space and can
I would die in my bunker.
Withstand the vacuums of space?
I would just make you feel better. I see.
Yeah, it would. But that was my whole point in the beginning, is that it would make me feel better. I'm not saying it would stop anything that would happen. I'm saying it would make me feel better. That's all I was saying in the first place.
Oh, okay.
That's all I was saying, literally.
That's some
I got
dumb
another
shit.
question though. Let's say your bunker.
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you think. We all die. We all die today. I don't give a fuck.
Not me. I'm getting off this plane.
I got one more question, KJ. Let's say your bunker does work.
Yep.
You're gonna be the only person
Everybody
left.
else dies.
You be cool with that, or would you rather?
And I'm gonna go I Am Legend in this bitch.
Through the vacuums of space. Or just on Earth. Is he still on Earth?
It's gonna be me and Squirrely.
Yeah.
It's gonna
what
be
are you gonna eat?
Yeah,
it's gonna be me
and Squirrely with his Gucci
chilling.
loafers.
You think a squirrel's gonna survive that?
Yeah.
Damn right, he's in the bunker.
Definitely a roach, for sure. They survive everything.
They survive everything. They go underground. Sure. Rats and roaches, they always survive.
They might
roaches could be
for
aliens.
real. Roaches might be aliens. They survive everything, for real.
There's a lot of things that survive longer than us.
All right, next topic. This is the last thing I want to talk about. So
that was fun.
That was enjoyable.
Kids is drunk. So you know,
a little bit. Straight gin in that cup.
So if you haven't heard, J4 Entertainment is trying to do a reality series on us overseas athletes in the summertime, and because West Virginia has a plethora of overseas basketball players. There's about 15 to 20 of us, and we all come back to Morgantown, and we all do this stuff. So, KJ, what are your thoughts on this? Just the cameras following you around the summer, trying to get some insight on your life and what it's like being an overseas basketball player and stuff.
I'm good as long as it stays to the court and it's not my personal life. I'm good with that.
Nah, I will have to be a little personal. That's what.
What's a little personal? Cause you different. So what's a little personal?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
I know. That's why I asked what's a little person though. That's why I asked.
Ash, though. Ash, what do you think KJ's storyline should be? And then we'll go to Deshaun's storyline. And you can even do
there is no Deshaun storyline.
Oh, there's definitely Deshaun. Deshaun's
you literally just said for overseas athletes, which I clearly am not.
Recently just retired from playing basketball overseas, so that's
not
a
recently.
big story.
It's been months, so it's almost equivalent. Actually, it was a new year altogether.
He's one season removed.
I retired in 2020, and it's 2021, so that's last year's news.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want you to
semantics.
I wouldn't want you to. Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't want you to like drag that shit down with like old news that we've already done interviews about me retired and what I've been doing.
Drag it down.
Yeah, I would definitely drag the show down. So don't even worry about me.
Oh no, you're actually
I don't think you would drag it down. I think you've got more of a storyline, honestly.
Nah, I actually don't. Especially since I can't sell it. I got to be the one to make sure I sell that storyline.
Ash.
Well, for Deshaun, it's definitely about, life after basketball and what he's doing, with coaching and taking classes and, family life. I mean, that's Deshaun's story, and he's got more to talk about than probably anybody.
You missed the window, though. I'm graduating in May, so I'll be done with school. I'll be done with all these things.
Well,
don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about me.
You don't want to do it.
Don't worry about little old me.
If Deshaun's not doing it, I'm not doing it. So
I'll watch the show for sure.
And watch the domino fall. That's
a big part of like playing basketball overseas is trying to figure out what you're gonna do after. So I think Deshaun does have a big storyline. KJ, what do you think KJ's storyline should be, Ash?
That's a tough one.
Let me remind you, he's single.
Is he though?
Is
he though? Yeah.
Ish.
That's the thing.
Single.
I don't know if he is.
He's whatever. But he's making the most money overseas. He's a millionaire, yachts, all types of stuff, party
Gucci
animal
hoodies.
a little bit. He's probably living the best life out of everybody.
None of this is true.
I am curious what you're up to in the summer, though, Kev. Other than when we're doing our podcast.
I just be chilling. There's nothing really going on with me. No. I like to stay inside. I like to stay secluded in my bunker that I just made the other day
with Squirrely.
Yeah.
Just
I don't really
chilling.
like to do much. Yeah. John, what would your storyline be?
You know my storyline. Just married, at home, chilling. We're gonna go through the TBT. We're playing TBT, so it's gonna follow us to the TBT. Hopefully, we win
cool.
The money.
I like that. Yeah.
You got characters like Tavon Myers, Tariq, Truck
for sure.
We got who else? Like Chase Harler and Mozzie. The list goes on.
What about the So Icy movement? I really want to learn more about that and J Flow ENT and how that got started.
It'll be based around like West Virginia. You know what I mean? It'll be like WVU, like the what is it, like the tradition that we have here, like with hugs. I think we have the best alumni, like one of the best alumni basketball programs, like that's still active and still around to the program now. You know what I mean? We got like the alumni locker room, and like hugs lets us in the facilities, use the facilities whenever we want. So it's I think we have one of the best programs. I would love to shine some light on that. So
a lot of that is due to you, man. So big props to you for that.
It's hugs for real.
I mean, yeah, hugs, and then you carried a lot of it too with the TBT and the alumni game and all that. So you give yourself some props too. So
it's a good time, J Flow Entertainment. We work hard over here,
Always coming up with a new idea. I will definitely say that much.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Just got.
Now you really trying to do this though, for real?
Yeah, I'm talking to a director now. Like,
that's dope.
So it's looking like it's going to happen.
I think that's cool because it could be like like a 30 for 30 situation, where you choose like 3 or 4 guys that you really get into. But like everybody else, like shows them, on the road to the TBT, practice and at the, facility and things like that. Like it could be really cool.
I'm thinking more of like not a sitcom, like a Modern Family, or like even the Kardashians or something like that.
So more of a reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got you.
I'll be playing KJ one-on-one, and we're talking shit in the one-on-one, and then it'll cut to interviews afterwards. Like we're just sitting in the room talking about it.
I think I think the younger guys' lives are more entertaining than our lives, honestly. At this point we are right now. So I feel like it should focus more on them and then sprinkle us, the older guys, in a little bit every now and then. I feel like that would be dope. I feel like that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I
like the idea. And I think that West Virginia fans would love to see something like that.
For real.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. We have a built-in audience, so I think we could, it wouldn't be hard to market, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So hopefully we could sell it to Netflix or something. If anyone wants to
That'd be cool. Could you imagine? That'd be sweet.
If you sell it to Net, that'd be dope.
If anyone wants to invest, KJ.
We'll talk about it when we both get back home. We'll talk about that. I don't trust you with my money right now.
You need to find who's got the most money in West Virginia and get them to get behind you on it, and then
I'm sure we could find some sponsors for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. This is just the groundworks. This is probably supposed to be like a Patreon listen, just to get the inside scoop. But Dave didn't set up a Patreon listeners thing yet.
What's a Patreon?
Like our most loyal listeners. We try to come up with a name for them. The Final Fourcasters or whatever. I forgot what we came up with, but they're supposed to be able to subscribe and get like inside like stuff, information and stuff like that.
Forecasters. I like that.
We called them something.
Forecasters? I like that name.
It's basically
All
like
our
paid
forecasters
subscription.
out there.
So like you get tiers of rewards and like membership stuff. So like I've been trying to figure out what we could do with everyone's time for the TBT. So like some of the podcasts that I know, they get a bonus episode every week. They do live chats where people can hang out and just talk with everybody. You get like discounts on merch and stuff like that. It's just trying to figure out what our audience would pay for, because we've never done anything like that. So I'm trying to figure out like realistic rewards that we can commit to, because like it was hard to do 2 episodes at once. So like we couldn't really say we'll do a second one, but maybe we could do a team hangout every once in a while or something like that, like once a month, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure that stuff out.
Well, Dave, the second episode didn't have to be a whole episode. It could have just been like 15 minutes about something that we didn't put in the first episode. That's what Dave didn't understand about it. But me being the the team leader that I am, I was supposed to explain this stuff to Dave. But as you can see, it's hard to manage Dave. So Shane, whenever you're ready for me to shout you around West Virginia,
organizing like the Charleston stuff while you're still overseas, but that's fine.
Shane, whenever you're ready for me to be the AD, just let me know.
This is the Final Fourcast podcast.
RIP DMX and RIP Black Rob. It's been a tough month for
Wait, Black
NYC.
Rob died?
Yeah, NYC hip hop. It's been a tough month for it. So RIP DMX, RIP Black Rob, 2 great rappers.
I can't believe y'all forgot to say rest in peace to DMX though, bro. That really kind of pissed me off.
Well, we got sidetracked.
No, it didn't. You're not even from New York, John. Shut up.
Pissing me. I don't need to be from New York. Growing up, everyone was either a Rough Rider, a No Limit Soldier, or a Hot Boy, right?
Yeah, that's true. Early 2000s, for sure. Early 2000s.
Yeah.
I definitely grew up on DMX. DMX CD is probably one of the first, not even CD, cassette tape. I had a Walkman. First,
Wow,
like one of the first
back.
cassettes I had. Him and Jay-Z.
I still
I'm trying to
bump
think what the
DMX
first
before the
hip-hop
game and
album.
shit. So, yeah, man,
Yeah, rest in peace,
it's been
DMX,
crazy,
man.
man.
Sad,
That's
but
the
he
thing,
definitely
man.
lived a full life.
He did, and that's the thing too. Is I feel like we wait until people died sometimes to give them their full flowers, and that's
I can't say that
thing.
happened with DMX though, bro.
I
think
do.
DMX
I
was
do
loved.
to his full. He's been. Don't get me wrong. He's been loved, but I don't think he was fully appreciated like he should have been, bro. To be honest with you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, bro. I think he. Everybody. I can't
Just like
think of one
Nipsey.
person that has something bad to say about DMX.
Just like Nipsey, I feel like Nipsey wasn't as fully loved until he died.
Right.
I feel like
They
it's
get
the same.
appreciated.
That's different
I feel
though,
like
because
it's-
everyone
how?
didn't know about Nipsey Hussle. Like I really
That's
didn't
true.
know about Nipsey Hussle until he passed away.
Right.
To be honest, think about it. A lot of the new generation, you think. I mean, I'm sure they've heard of DMX song, but you think they really know about the impact DMX had on hip hop and rap?
Probably
A lot
not.
of guys who were born after 2000, you think they really know?
I
And
think
DMX
so, bro.
he was a good actor too. Let's not
Yeah,
forget that. Dude,
Romeo
he was
Must
fire.
Die, Belly, all
Yeah,
that.
Belly. That's one of my favorite movies. I fucking love that movie. Him
Hood
and Nas both
classics.
in that are
Yeah, you
amazing.
can't. Yeah, I never heard of anyone saying anything bad about DMX, bro.
But it's not
Like,
about somebody
Other than his
saying
drug
bad
addiction.
about him. It's just about, I don't think that we appreciated him as much as, because I feel like with a lot of our superstars or a lot of our legends, that we just think they're gonna be around forever.
Right.
And then when something like this happens, we just like, oh damn, like he's gone too soon. I should have
What else
appreciated. I
was
should
they
have watched
supposed-
this more.
What else was they supposed to do though?
I should have watched this more. I should have listened to his music more. It's not. I'm not saying nothing. Like it's nothing else you can do if somebody dies. But you know, I should have listened to his music more. I should have tried to find out what he was doing after music. You know, because he hasn't been doing music for a while. Just kept up with him more. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
He kind of did fall off.
I do
and,
agree
like,
with you on that aspect, but I can't say that that's the fact for DMX, bro. I think everybody loved him. Like everybody knew about
Yeah,
him.
everybody
like,
loved DMX.
he's a world famous cultural icon, bro.
That's a fact. I agree.
Everyone could relate to. So rest in peace,
Definitely.
DMX and
Rest in
Black
peace,
Rob.
DMX. Black Rob too, for sure.
Thanks for listening to the show. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Final Fourcast, or call us at 304-807-9098.
Where are you? Where'd you go?
Welcome back to the Final Fourcast ASMR with Ashley and Dave. Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing well. It's a great Sunday and I just ordered IHOP pancakes.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I'm leaning into the fat.
Don't you hate when Dave gets on
wrong
weird
with
shit?
Leaning
Don't you hate when John always says something dumb shit about Dave, despite the fact he does everything he needs him to?
Y'all two need your own podcast together.
That's for
Just
sure.
y'all two. Like I would definitely listen to that shit.
No.
Called The Great Debate.
That'd be
John
an
and
awesome
Dave.
podcast, actually.
It would.
John
It
and
really
Dave,
would.
the great debate. That'd be great.
I would
Give you a
definitely-
topic. Dave argues one side. John argues the
here's
other.
a controversial opinion I don't really believe in myself, but just want to get people angry about.
Damn,
John's
he
a
got
troll,
He got you
but we
figured
love
out,
him.
John.
Sounds
What'd he say?
like he did some homework.
What he
Damn,
said?
John,
He
got you
didn't even
figured
hear
out.
what he said. He said he
did he
basically
say?
said that you take on the controversial stance even if you don't believe in it, just to get people riled up.
Sometimes.
We know. You don't have to say anything.
Oh man. All right, Day. You up?
I definitely believe in Pepe Le Pew.
Wow.
We're not doing this.
On that note, it's been another episode of the Final Fourcast. Thank you guys for joining. I am your co-host, Deshaun Butler. This is our guy, John Flowers.
Yo, why don't they cancel Yosemite Sam? He's
And this, and
He is dangerous. He's
it's a lot more
guy.
dangerous people on the show, for sure. Anyhow, and I got
Yo,
Kevin Jones.
hold on.
Yo.
One thing though. Yosemite Sam in Space Jam, they said shoot the ball. He shot it with the gun. And America's going through mad mass shootings. And we cancel Pepe Le Pew? I'm gone, bro.
That's tough.
Our co-host, Kevin Jones.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say you can't top that, Kevin.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. I wasn't gonna say it.
And our lovely co-host, Ashley.
That's me.
And good job, Dave.
Thank you.
Anytime.
But that is hilarious though. They said shoot the ball. He shot it.
I did
Now
see
you're
that.
laughing
That's
at it. What the hell?
That's hilarious.
funny. You about to get canceled next week, John. Just hope you're prepared.